Don't start any business without watching this video till to the end, because we'll be looking into 10 steps that you need to make sure that it's basically a checklist that you have to go through to make sure everything gets to check out for you to be guaranteed your business will be successful. And I'll be taking you through each and every single one in details. We'll be looking into what you need to do for every stage, and of course how you can get to maximize, or you can get to increase on the possibility of you becoming that is profitable, or becoming successful business wise. My name is Willie, and in this channel we get to talk about how to make money online, how to run a business, how to set up a business. And if this is the kind of content that you're interested with, I'll just request you to just go ahead, hit the subscribe button, which is just below here. Also turn on the notification bell, so that each and every time I'm dropping a new episode content like this one, which gets to help you grow business wise, as well as it also gets to help you to increase your revenue. Just go ahead, you get to drop a comment in the comment section, so that I can also get to know which video you'd like me to do research, and of course to bring you first-hand information. So let's put that aside, and we get to dive into number one, what we need to do when setting up a business. Well, number one, we're talking about you need to have a solid practical plan. With the practical plan, we're talking about whereby, first of all, you need to be very, very sure, is this the business that you want to start? Of course, you need to know, is really this the business that you want to run? The other thing also, you need to know under the practical plan, you need to have a blueprint where you'll be getting your finances. Remember, there's no any business that gets to start without finances. Number two, you also need to think about the labor force. These are the employees. This falls under the employees categories. With the business that you're starting, do you need employees, or is it a sole proprietor? Are you running the business solely, or just you? If for the case of the employees, remember there are things that comes on board, like salaries. At least you need to find a way to make sure that for the next 6 months you can get to fund that business without expecting any profit, or without expecting the business to give any return, at least for 6 months. That's what we're talking under the practical plan. So if you have like two employees, let's say you're having two employees, for instance, you're paying them, let's say 40,000. You get to do two employees times 40,000. You also need to include yourself. Remember, you're also an employee on that business. So we're talking about, for this case, you'll be having three times 40,000. So for that case, you can in every month, that's 120,000. Then think about 6 months from the month that you get to start the business, at least 6 months going forward. Also remember, we'll be having these other things on board, like for example, you could be have rented a space, you need rent, you have business plan. We also have things like, for example, electricity, other small expenses gets to come in. So you need to have a plan for all that. So number one, you need to have a practical plan. Number two, you need also to make sure that you have technical skills. So for instance, under technical skills, these are by, for instance, you have, for instance, you get to venture into a tech industry. So for instance, if you get to you get to start, you get to venture into tech industry, you need to have technical skills, like for example, basic programming. For instance, if you're into business like app development, you need skills like basic programming. You could need things like we have app design. These are the technical skills that we are talking about. For instance, if you get into manufacturing, for instance, you start producing soap, you need to make sure that you have the knowledge on how what's needed for you to produce the products. This is what you're talking about. We're talking about technical skills, as well as how the process goes through, to make sure that your final product, it can be satisfying to your customer. So that falls under technical skills. Number one is practical plan. Number two, technical skills. Number three, we're talking about basic knowledge. Under basic knowledge, there are things that in business, any successful business must, as the leader, or basically as the owner of the business, you need to have. One is financial education. You have to be financially literate. You have to be literate. Meaning, when it comes to numbers, you are aware of that. When it comes to things like bookkeeping, how the record in the company or in the business, how do you get to keep track of things? You need also to make sure that you are good with that. The other thing, we also have the marketing department. Remember, this is one of the most important department in any business, and this is the department that you find so many small businesses they get to ignore, and that's why they get to really struggle to reaching that success. Marketing department, you need to know how you can get to market your product, how much do you need in order for the product to be out there. That's falls under finance. The track record, is there any good track? Are we heading in the right direction? That falls under bookkeeping and record keeping. All those are things that I'm talking about. You really need to know to put in place when you're about to start any business. Let's proceed now to number 4, and this one is it's very, very important to identify the reason why you're starting a business. So there are people who get to start the business because literally they don't want to take any orders from their bosses, and if you don't go to start your own business with that mentality, there's a high probability that your business will literally fail. So you need to have a solid reason. Why am I starting this business? Do I have a business idea which is solid? Have I identified a problem somewhere? For instance, most of the successful businesses, you have to identify a problem, and then you come up with a solution. Most of the most successful businesses, they first of all get to identify a problem, and then they get to provide a solution. And out of that, well, as I was saying, it's very, very important, guys, that you get to understand the reason why you're starting this business, and of course the force that is driving you to start the business itself. So now let's proceed to number 5, which is very, very important for you to have in mind, and we are talking about customer. Remember, business doesn't have any customer, guys. That business is as good as dead. So it's important, guys, that you get to understand who are your target customers, what they really need, and of course, is there any demand? Are there people out there looking for the product or service that you're offering? It's very, very important, guys, that you get to consider that. You can do some surveys. You could choose to do some surveys before starting the business. You could just go on the field. Sometimes it's good just to look around, just to walk around asking people. For instance, you want to start a senior business. So if you have to start a senior business, you need to look around and you get to see their estates around. Is there any another individual who is already offering the same business? If there's one, how much are they charging? What's the profit margin? Can you get the product at a lower price? And of course, with the market price, you can get to make something in between. Those are the things that I'm talking about under customer. And once you get to start that senior business, will you be getting people to come and buy those cereals? So it's important, guys, that you get to conduct a survey. You could choose to go physically asking individuals, or you can just set up a survey online, and it's going to ease all that. So let's proceed to number 6, and this is whereby we are talking. Well, let's proceed to number 6, and this is whereby we are talking about the customer's needs. For instance, if you get into a fashion industry, so this is one of the industries that requires you to be up to date, and you get to understand what is trending in the market and what are the customer looking for specifically. So it's important, guys, that you get to check out that the customers' needs as well as the desires. What would they want to be? That is, what would they like to be brought? So it's important that you get to consider that. So the other important thing, we are talking about the product and service. So for my case, preferably for me, I prefer service businesses. And the reason for that, the profit margin for most service businesses is very, very high. For instance, if you get to start like a car rental business, the profit margin, they're very, very good. For instance, if you get into beauty industry, these are service giving area. As compared to the product is for my profit margin, service and profit margin. If you get to sell it, and this is you need to make sure, for instance, if you're selling a you're getting a product 1,000, for instance, you get to sell it at that in hand profit margins. In most cases, it's important that you get to make sure that the profit margin is around 40, it's usually around 30 to around 40%. If you can get to make this kind of profit per every the pricing of either the services and the product, after you have subtracted the expenses, with the expenses you get to the car. That's a very good profit margin. Let's proceed to number 9, and we are talking about marketing. So at marketing, guys, I'll be dropping a booklet, an ebook that is for free. So just go ahead and get to talk to me on the comment section, drop your number, or as well as your email. I get to send you. I have a free marketing and promotional ebook which gets to guide you how you can get to promote your business at zero cost. You just need to understand a few things, and everything is explained in that ebook. So let's just go ahead, guys. You get to do exactly that. And now, number 10, we're talking about the location. Is the business located online, or is the business located at a physical place? So nowadays, if you can manage to have your business both located online and have a physical locality, it's even better. But the people who just prefer, because of the cost of rent, they prefer to set up a business online. Either way, guys, it's very important that you get to consider, is it a physical place or is it an online business? And I'll be dropping a more elaborate video on how you can get to set up a business online in detail. So guys, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you keep getting this kind of videos every single time I get to bring to you. That's it for today, guys, and of course I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Peace.